So we've put down our purple shadow for our yellow fruit, and we put down some green shadow for our red fruit. So now we mix up some. My yellow always gets contaminated and ends up green. So I'm now going to put yellow over this, and hopefully we've created that bit of shadow because we've got that underneath purple shadow just lightly coming through on that one. And then we can take our red fruit, this is a bit darker, this one, so put that over there, and then it goes a bit yellowy towards the edge. So, somebody going down those stairs, they won't get out. We can just fade that in as well.
What sort of red would you use?
I've used on there, it was called a ruby red, but something like a brightish red. That way. Yeah.
Sorry, did you put the yellow on the green rose?
So the yellow is on the purple one, and then I've gone in with red on my green, and then because it's a little bit yellow on the side, I've just gone on with a bit of yellow, and I'll just make that a little bit stronger. I might go in with a little bit of magenta onto this side because it's quite a pinky red, isn't it? So we'll go in with a bit of pinky red there as well. Then we can, if we've got any highlights we want to lift out, clean brush, not wet, just slightly damp, we can lift off those highlights if we've got a highlight. Or if you've got a fruit that hasn't really got a lot of shadow on it, you can use a colour that is, again, sort of, just an example. So we've got little bits of shadow on these, but I'm trying to find a picture that's this one. We've got a bit confused with that. So that one, which hasn't got, it's just really got highlights on it, we could put down a purple and then go in with a magenta over the top, so that they mix and we get this nice, rather than just a red, we get a nice sort of pinky purple. Same with this one here, I would put it's sort of a yellowy green, so you could put down a purpley red shadow there, and then that dry, and then just go in with your yellowy green here. That's almost getting full light, so very little colour there.
So right, sorry, can I just ask?
Yeah. So you're painting
let
over the
it
whole
dry?
of it.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
you put your shadow on, let it dry. When it's dry, just paint over the whole of it with your
Right.
colour. If it's got a bit of yellow down one side, you can add that and let it sort of merge in. So when you've done a little test, look at your picture that you're working on. Hopefully it's the same one that you've done your pencil sketch on. And I've put down green where the shadows are. And again, we'll let those dry. While those drying, we could put some colour onto our leaves as well, which is going to be the green that we've used. So the green I'm using it's a bit like Hooker's green. It's called yellow green in the White Nights range. So it's not too bright, it's quite a nice natural green. So I can, sometimes with the veins and everything on the leaves, it's quite difficult to paint around those, so we can always go back in with a pencil crayon. Ooh.
Sorry.
There's a fairy coming. We've got a green leaf, but very, very dark, so I'm going to put quite a mixture of red into here. And then we'll put the green over the top, and then hopefully those will mix and give us a nice dark shadow.
You know those pencils on you've got this,
Yeah, like
do you sell them?
I do, yeah.
I'll have to buy one.
They are very good, aren't they? They're about £25, so they are quite expensive, but it's a joy to use, isn't it?
Because I've got loads of pencils that need sharpening.
You can either come in early and sharpen more here, or you can buy one. If you do a lot of pencil work or pencil crayon work, they are nice to use. So, haven't got a lot of shadow on this leaf. Actually, looking at this colour, it's a bit more orangey than yellow, isn't it? When you look at the picture. So how are your tests coming out? Alright? Yeah, so rather than sort of trying to drop shadow in, which can sometimes result in watermarks and cauliflower type marks, we're putting that shadow on first and then putting the main colour on afterwards. And they're quite pinky, so I am using some magenta as well. I'm going to mix some magenta into my ruby. Again, you can test the colour. Does it look like it? It's a bit more magenta. Magenta's a nice bright colour. So I'm going to put this onto my Crabapple. last week with our clouds, but a little bit more control. Third one, yeah, this is quite pink, a little bit red in with that.
And then Rose, could I just ask, you know bits that if you have sort of painted, you could do without doing a bit more white?
So you can,
reflection.
yeah, so you should be able to lift it out.
Use the white.
So now if you, while it's still wet, you should be able to lift out. So wash your brush, dry it. And remember when we lifted out the clouds last, oh you weren't here, were you, last week? Were you here last week?
No.
No. You watched the video? No. So wash your brush, dry it off on a bit of tissue or towel, and then just lift out. So I'll just do it just here. I'll just finish this little bit in there. So wash your brush, dry it,
Yeah, I can
and then
see.
just lift that little bit out.
Ah, never knew that would work.
While it's wet, it's easier. You can sometimes do it even if it's dry a bit. Oh dear, tissue. A bit of a mess there. So we can get rid of that. Go in while I've got the paints are going, and we'll add that dark green over the top of this leaf.
Colours underneath the leaf. Orange.
So that's red. I've got red under that because it's complementary with green. pencil crayons with the leaves because it's quite difficult to get those veins on. But we can create them with a pencil crayon once it's all dried. Quite hard to do the stalks sometimes as well because they're quite fine. And you can sharpen them up with a pencil crayon.
I've only just finished drawing, so am I supposed to be? No, I've been lost. I'm lost. Am I going to put this bluey green?
So then, I just did you
Yeah, they're wrong. That's wrong. 'Cause when I
put
couldn't
that
see,
green in,
I couldn't
for
see
you.
what you were doing.
put that green in,
Yeah.
so you put red on top of that, so that's your test one. And then with this, you put green where you shadow. Well,
Well, that looks all
that
blue to me. Oh, right,
not that green, not those, talking about the fruit.
Just the fruit bit.
So you've got quite yellow fruit, so it's going to be purple shadow.
Yeah. I was going to say, because to me, I can't see.
Yours look nice, Helen, look at those. Those chest pieces are great, aren't they? Look at those. Yeah. Now you're going to just get that on you.
What should I do for the shadow on this one? And do you know what colour? Or do you just go with the grey for that also?
Well, what colours it looks very purpley, doesn't it?
Right, okay.
So I'll go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it must be a bit of a yellow light, which often when you take things indoors, you do have a yellow light, don't you? Just going to put some black or Payne's grey onto here because it's very dark, this bit of twig. Put an undercoat of green. Probably plums as well, isn't there? For the stalks, it's quite difficult sometimes to get into such a fine area. It's still a little bit wet, this is. Damp, not wet, damp. I'm not going to add any water to these, so it doesn't matter if they're water soluble or not. Try not to put your hand in what you've just painted, like I've just done. Often a good idea to have two pictures on the go because you can leave one how you get on with the second one, and then come back to it. Got a stalk here that I've not put this one out. Now I've forgotten to put that little bit of shadow in there, so I might just use again a bit of a pencil crayon just to darken that a touch. Use a white pencil. Once it's dry it should go on a little bit better than it is here for some of those raised vein lines. Not coming out very well. You can use a little bit of gouache if you've got any gouache, which is an opaque white. I've got a little bit on my palette here, so it's quite handy to put some on your palette. You just need a little bit of white occasionally. I've got a very white vein just there. White gouache is more opaque than white watercolour. It's still translucent, the white watercolour. So your gouache will show up better on it, so wait till it's all thoroughly dry and then your white or light watercolour pencil or coloured pencil will show up better. If you've not managed to lift out, we can use a little bit of gouache as a highlight as well. Also handy if you think, well, I've not quite gone dark enough there. This is it's called Bath, this colour. It's not black. Just get that in there a little bit. That shadow there hasn't come out very well, so I'm going to rougher bits down as well, particularly on the leaves if they're looking a bit light. Just go in with some darker mixes of your green. Try and show where those veins are, painting around them. And if you want to move to a smaller brush, you can do. It's a bit more controlled. How are we doing for time? Just do these last little bits and then we'll have a look.